them on Google,
Yep.
and they go to Google and then they get on your email list and then they see a sale in 7 days or 10 days or whatever it is, and then they purchase. But they didn't buy from Facebook, but the money was spent there. So there's no cost per acquisition metric that you can get from Facebook. And I think people forget about that.
100% agree. And it also happens on Amazon, right? So I'll give you a quick example. We have a hair care brand we work with, and they're a big spender on YouTube. So they spend 300,000 or 400,000 a month on YouTube, probably about the same on Facebook. And so there was a period of time right after iOS 14 when traffic was just all messed up.
Yes.
And they were like, we're shutting down top of funnel ads, right? And it wasn't forever, but they shut down as they were kind of making sure they had their tracking in place and they were coming up with solutions and things like that. Well, we were also managing their Amazon business, and we could track brand searches to a certain degree on Amazon. And over the course of the next several weeks, branded traffic got cut in half. Because they cut off YouTube and Facebook, and so they brought it back. Right, they're just trying to get tracking figured out. They brought it back; it was fine. But even on YouTube, right? I'm sorry, even on Amazon, where you're running these top of funnel efforts, and then the next activity that someone's going to take is they're going to search for it on Google, or they're going to search for it on Amazon, and that's how they're going to, find and ultimately purchase that product.
It's funny. I think back to one of my previous marketing mentors. He used to always, every time we'd have a chat, not every time, but quite often when we'd have a chat, he would mention that, like, just keep spending the money on the marketing, just keep money there rolling into the account and spending money on the marketing, because every 2 to 3 weeks I get somebody call me up and like, hey, like, his name's Liam. He's like, Liam, I'm not making much more money anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on. And the first thing you'd ask them is like, what, how much are you spending on your ads? Like, oh, I sort of decreased it a little bit, but like that's because Facebook wasn't providing the results. But like, it's the global thing. I want to segue into thinking about people going off Amazon and searching on Google and likewise, and coming full circle on how do we get our brand or e-commerce business off Amazon to another sales channel outside of it for our own brand. When you are setting that up, like, the CPA may cost a little bit more with traffic generation from Google ads to your own store, but are you having other things set up in place, like making sure you're capturing emails, putting them through a marketing campaign, upsells, downsells, through the add to cart, to make sure that you can try your best to make up for the higher costs of acquisition before you do that stuff?
Totally. So we, in kind of the early days of our agency, we were mainly all Google traffic, right? Like organic Google, paid Google, YouTube. We don't do any organic Google anymore. Then we added our Amazon side of the business. Now we're like full brand management on Amazon ads and everything. But and then we added email marketing as well, because for this very reason, we found that, hey, we can drive a ton of traffic from YouTube, and it's pretty low cost traffic, right? Like $1 a click, $2 a click, whatever. It's pretty cheap to get someone there from YouTube, but they're often early in their shopping journey. So if we can provide a pop-up that's either fun or funny or cool or just useful, and we can capture that email address, now we can get someone on a drip, kind of a welcome sequence or indoctrination sequence, we've called it at times. So getting the email flow set up, grabbing SMS text as well if we can, and then building out a really robust remarketing program as well, right? Where, hey, it's once you get that visitor, now to remarket to that visitor on Facebook or on YouTube or even through Google is pretty affordable. So we want to get that built out as well. And so we definitely want to, any way we can, right? How do we capture that user and then follow up with them? So it's kind of like using paid media, then getting some owned media, which is kind of what we would call, an email list. Getting that all working together is super important.
I love email marketing, and I still believe it's so undervalued by so many, not just brands, but businesses.
It is. Yeah. And, we know some brands that like 40% of their revenue email touches, right? And you can't give like necessarily 40% credit to email, because without Facebook and YouTube and top of funnel efforts, you wouldn't have had this. But YouTube, email is often what closes the deal, right? And so it's like super, super valuable. But I agree with you. It's often undervalued just from like an approach standpoint, but also in a structure. And actually, I just saw it with a huge brand we work with, big brand, spending multiple seven figures a month on ads. They don't send out emails very often at all. But when they do, it's like sales spike. And we're like,